Lord willing, y'all can hear me. Lord willing, y'all can hear me. First and foremost, I want to give our praises and our honor and our glory to Yahweh, Ba'Shem Yahushai, Ba'Shem Rakakudash. Yahweh being the Most High God, and Yahushai is who the world enemy called Jesus the Christ. And of course, I want to give double honors where honor is due to the apostles and the elders in Great Millstone, who've been ruling well through the Spirit, teaching His word and believing in His word. Right? From Elder Tahar on down to even the men that's ruling well through the Spirit, and that congregation that's scattered in 4 different places at the corners of the earth. And definitely a mighty shalom to the brothers in different congregations that's teaching His word and believing His word. The hopeful elect that's teaching His word, believing in His word. Lord willing, the Most High increase you to endure. Lord willing, one day we will all be singing the same song through the prophecies. For the wives and the single sisters that's playing a role, Lord willing, the Most High continue to have it on your spirit to believe in His word. Lord willing, the Most High have mercy on the other brothers and sisters that's not in the faith. So you see the title. We just gonna get right into it. Right? You have to work hard to make sure you're not a wicked seed, man. Let me see if this works now. Nope, it's not working. So I'm gonna just read a few of these and then we'll I ain't gonna make the video too long. So this is Proverbs chapter 11 verse 21. It says, though hand join in hand, the wicked shall not be unpunished, but the seed of the righteous shall be delivered. Right? And this is why the men of the Lord is always working to gain that glory. Just off of the video I did yesterday, inspired by my brother Yarmayan, that in order to get your crown, you have to go through trials and tribulations, but you have to endure, and you have to acknowledge the Lord, knowing that it's Him that is putting you through these trials. Because in order to get that glorified body, in order to achieve the kingdom of heaven, you have to go through trials and tribulations as men and women. But we have to know, if you don't care about this ministry, right? Being in a ministry is actually teaching His word, sharing these videos, right? Actually doing the work of the ministry is not somebody that just say they believe in Jesus. Doing the ministry is doing the work, feeding the flock, and giving them the truth. So we're all accountable for our actions, right? I'm gonna just go to that Matthew 13. And sometimes it might glitch, so I don't really know. So Lord willing, through the Spirit, it still can come out. So I'll read from verse 34. It says, all these things spake Yahushai unto the multitude in parables, and without a parable spake He not unto them, that it might be fulfilled which was spoken by the prophet, saying, I will open my mouth in parables. I will utter things which have been kept secret from the foundations of the earth. Then Yahushai sent the multitude away and went into the house. And His disciples came unto Him, saying, declare unto us the parable of the tares of the field. So this is a parable, which definitely try to go search for somebody that has the true meaning, right? And majority of every parable is really dealing with Israel, right? Unless it's dealing with a specific word, right? And it could be talking about the nation of Idumea, or being pointed to something else, right? So verse 37, Lord willing, y'all can see it. I'm gonna try to make it blue so it's more clear for y'all. He that soweth the good seed into the seed. And guess what? Those good, the song of Moses, verse 38, you should be learning. That's for you to explain it, and it just comes out as Shabba Dabba Ding. Devil in the flesh on this earth would be the nation of Idumea, the Edomites, the so-called white man devil. The harvest is the end of the world, and the reapers are the angels. And we're waiting for the harvest. You're going to know if you are a wicked. 40 says, as therefore the tares are gathered and burned in the fire, so shall it be in the end of the world. So you have to understand the 15th chapter, which I'll actually go to. Salaki. No, that's not it. This is St. John chapter 15, verse 6. It says, let me change the color so y'all can see better. Let me brighten up my screen. Oh, it's already bright. It says, if a man abide not in me, he is cast forth as a branch and is withered, and men gather them and cast them into the fire, and they are burned. So if you do not abide in Hamashiach Yahushai through the power of Yahweh, you will be gathered as sticks for a bonfire and thrown into this fire and brimstone. Everybody through the spirit of Yahweh Shemashai is getting prepared for the end times, even if they know it or if they don't. If you don't know it, Lord willing, if you are the hopeful elect, the prayers is being answered in on his time, not our time, that he actually take that veil off of you and you actually come to the true understanding, right? Some of us think that we might find this understanding on our own. You're not. The Lord is going to point you in a certain direction if you search your heart, and then you'll start reading, and then there's going to be moments where you might read and you might not get it. So this is Psalms chapter 37, verse 28. It says, for Yahweh Shema Shai loveth judgment, and forsaketh not his saints, which is the hopeful elect. They are preserved forever. So the saints on this side is preserved forever. So they're going to make it. It's predestined. The hopeful elect is going to make it. They are preserved forever. But the seed of the wicked shall be cut off. And that's why you want to always work on yourself. Because right now, a lot of us don't know if we are of that hopeful elect. But if you have a desire to, you're gonna want to hear. You want to hear lessons. You're gonna want to watch videos. You're gonna want to study to approve yourself. Get precepts. Soon as you get stuck, you don't notice. Guess what? I might hit up my brother Yarmayan. Hey, yo, bro, I just want to make sure I'm in the same page and I'm not teaching the opposite of what you get out of this, just to see if we in the same lane. If he break it down the same way as me, then I got confirmation. I understand it right. If he explained it a whole nother way, then I'm gonna be honest, because we always do this. Oh man, brother, yo, Big Og, I was seeing it this way. And this is what me, Sam, Asher, Bashar, even my brother Daniela, if it ever comes to a situation of not understanding, we come together and we try to add precepts together. And if it don't work, we gotta come to agreement so we can all be singing the same song, so we can all be on one accord. Amos 3:3. If we can be agreed, we can walk together. If we can't agree on it, we can't walk together on that subject, but we're going to have to come back to it. Because what's the point of walking with somebody that's not teaching the same thing? And that's why you don't see the disciples or the Pharisees teaching with the prophets and the apostles, because they wasn't teaching the same thing, right? So I'm going to go to this Isaiah chapter 1. The point is verse 4, but I'm going to read verse 3 too. Isaiah chapter 1, verse 3 to verse 4. Their master's cred. If you put them somewhere, they know how to go right back. It says, a sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity. Iniquity is wickedness, which is sins. A seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken Yahweh. And James Brown, even though James Brown was for Michael Jackson. And if you don't know, Isaiah is an Israelite who is Hamashiach Yahushai, who the world and he calls Jesus Christ. And he's speaking about an Israelite, right? Lord willing, right? Like it says, but Israel doeth not know. My people doeth not consider. He calls Israel his people. You don't see the Lord calling somebody else his people. But don't let that go over your head. Lord willing, we could just stay on topic. Right? So, let's go to back to Matthew, the 13th chapter, and it's telling me to go to verse 19. So I'm going to read verse 18. It says, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower. A sower is somebody that plants something. Verse 19, it said, if the wicked one and casteth away that which was sown in his house. Somebody's trying to give you the understanding and you just constantly contentious. You like, nah, brother. Nah, that's your opinion. Or nah, I don't see it this way. I don't feel it that way. Guess what? It's an evil spirit in your conscience. But it's okay if you don't see it. I'm going to show you a history scripture in 1 Kings chapter 22. And we all usually go through this, right? The Lord will send a seducing spirit to deceive. Let me make sure this is it. Yup. This is 1 Kings chapter 22. And I'm going to read from verse 19 to 23. Just make sure y'all paying attention. Right? Anytime you might feel like, man, these are not the Israelites, or like sometimes my brother Asher or any other brother be like, man, I'm having a lustful spirit. Sitting on his throne and all the host of heaven, standing by him on his right hand and left hand. Who are the hosts? The armies of the Lord. The angels that you know that do the evil seducing spirits on the left hand side, and the righteous spirits that's on the right side. You got the left side angels and the right side angels. It says, Yahweh Shemashai said, who shall persuade Ahab that he may go up and fall at Ramoth Gilead? And one said on this manner. So one of the angels said, and another said on that manner. And there came forth a spirit and stood before Yahweh Shemashai and said, I will persuade him. Shemashai said unto him, thou shalt persuade him and prevail also, go forth and do so. Verse 23, but I'll show you another precept, right? This is St. Matthew chapter 12, dropping down to verse 43. Lord willing, I'm going to just change it to blue because I want y'all to be able to see it because it is in red letters. There's so many scriptures showing spirits, man. Verse 43, it says, findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty and swept and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself. And they entered in and dwelled there, in the last state of that ration. So this man had one spirit, it left him. He was empty, and the spirit came back. What is supposed to be sacred for between you and your wife, between you and your woman, between you and your husband, right? You might have somebody that is addicted to it. So let's go to Matthew 25 and 26. I see 5 and 26. I see it's it cut out. So let's get it. So Matthew 25 verse 26. And it reads, it says, his Lord answered and said unto him, thou wicked and slothful servant, thou knowest that I reap where I sowed not, and gather where I have not strawed. Right? And you have to know a slothful spirit is the slothful servant is somebody that is lazy. Slothful mean lazy. Sluggard mean lazy, right? And the Lord didn't create us to be on here to be lazy for his ministry. That's why I forgot what verse it is. I forgot where it is, but I know it says be fervent in business. You have to be fervent in the Lord's business. Luke chapter 2, verse 49, when Yahushua, who the world he calls Jesus Christ, he had told Mary and his father, but told his mother Mary that he must be about his father's business, right? So that's being fervent in business. Be on fire for the Lord. Always be ready to give a man an answer. Shoot, always be ready to, to get into your notes. Always be ready to, if the Spirit is on you, to bring out edification. This is why the Lord show you a picture, because people are like, no, the Lord didn't put that on them to make this. So if you feel that way, it's totally okay. We'll just go to a receipt. I thought I had it clear. Oh, it is clear. Okay, there we go. Let me see. Okay. So when you look at all these names right here, it says, who controls your mind? Right? When you look at the bottom, it says, Jewish connection spouse. Suspected, but unable to confirm. Green represents the it can be Spanish, it can be, right? So what it says, when you look at each name, which is all the way on the left side, and I'm gonna just say the names: Universal Studios, the 20th Century Fox, ABC News, CBS News, CNN News, Columbian Pictures, DreamWorks Studios, Warner Brothers, ESPN Sports, Fox TV Television, Nickelodeon Kids, US Today, Wall Street Journal, Comedy Central, NBC Entertainment, the New York Times, Google, Reuters, probably saying it wrong, Lord willing, I said it right. Where we at? Where am I at? Reuters, The Atlantic, Disney, ABC Kids and Family, YouTube, Los Angeles Times, Discovery Network, Paramount Pictures, Facebook, Huffington Post, Yahoo, Marvel, Hulu, Cosmopolitan, New York Post, Reader's Digest. So when you look at the top, it says president, CEO, founder, owner, vice president, and chairman. And when you see all the red, all the names I just founder, owner, vice president, and chairman, you only see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You only see 9 blues. There's only 9 blues. And the main one that I know that definitely is a so-called Israelite would be Nick Cannon. Nick Cannon, of course, he's an Israelite. And he is the chairman when you slide over to Nickelodeon Kids, right? But when you look at Nickelodeon Kids, the president watching your favorite show, let me see, where we at? The vice president and chairman of ESPN is Jewish, right? What else everybody use? I'm gonna change this very soon. Facebook, the president, the crazy thing, not the craziest thing, but it's already known. Zuckerberg is the president, CEO, the founder, and owner with Sheryl Sandberg. And Sandberg is the vice president, and Zuckerberg is the chairman, right? And he owns Instagram too, right? So some brothers be saying, no, don't be wearing Jordans. It's a status symbol or the symbol that we use. If you don't got this much followers on Facebook, IG, girls don't, you know what I'm saying? Girls don't want to respect you. If you don't got OnlyFans, if you don't got an iPhone, we got. So, you know what I'm saying? This just shows that anything the black Latinos own is Israelite, and that the Most High Yahweh and his son is for us, right? So if you need this picture, you can always inbox me. I can send it to you, but the evidence is right here. Everything you use in the day-to-day is ran by them, right? So let's get a few more, and then through the spirit, we probably can end this, right? This is Luke chapter 1, verse 50. It says, and his mercy is on them that fear him from generation to generation. The gospel of Luke is towards Israelites. So just because I read this, don't think, oh, all generations fear. No. This book of Luke is to Israelites. Plain. When it starts off with Jesus, with Yahushua, who the world calls Jesus Christ, and it starts with Zechariah and Elizabeth, right? When it talks about them in Luke, I believe it is the first chapter, right? When it starts off with them, those are Israelites. So the Gospel of Luke is dealing with Israelites, plain as can be. So he is going to be merciful for only the righteous that fear him from generation to generation, right? So our past generation, if you came in this truth, probably in your past generation, you came in this truth, right? So it's already predestined. The true believers is going to always come back and serve the Lord, right? Proverbs 12 and 12, it says, the wicked desire the net of evil men, but the root of the righteous yieldeth fruit. So the wicked in the nation of Israel will be the wicked seed, the 2/3. 2/3 is the wicked of our nation, which you can see in Zechariah, the 13th chapter. 2/3 is the ones that's going to be destroyed, right? But the root of the righteous yielded fruit. The righteous is the good seed. The fruit is them planting seeds, right? And if say we don't know if we got seeds, guess what? The Lord knows, because they might be watching your video. So if you get like 5 people watching and they constantly watching, you get 20 people always watching, they learning. Guess what? Though the Lords will, Salaki, the Lords will look at them as seeds. Your household, especially for you men, if you have children and you have a wife or wives, those are your seeds too. Constantly, if they're under your umbrella, your leadership, those are your seeds. If they're following your understanding and they not going left trigger, square, those are your seeds, right? And brothers that you labor with, that's a total family, right? And we all, just like when you clock into work, all the brothers you labor with, y'all all have to work for the Lord. If a brother is slacking, he ain't doing it, you got to say something to him. Especially if he has that fire to teach. If he always trying to correct somebody, teach, or always come with a precept, guess what, brother? You should be teaching. But it's brothers in this thing that don't want to be teachers, right? But they still play a role in this ministry. The number one thing, those brothers that might not be teachers or don't have the ability, those, if they really in this truth, they would be considered true believers, right? Brothers that have full faith in the Lord, right? Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 3, verse 16. As for the children of adulterers, they shall not come to their perfection. Adulterers and adulteress is when a woman lays with another man when she has a husband. And adulterers would be a man that lays with another man's wife, right? But let alone, if we look at it in a spiritual way, we are adulterers when we cleave to other beliefs, right? Of course, we committed spiritual fornication, which we are adulterers, right? And of course, we commit idolatry, worshiping these other beasts, worshiping these other idols, holding, making idols, right? That's idolatry, right? But spiritual fornication would be adultery, because we only have one Lord. We only have one power, which is Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. So when you go outside of that, you, through the Spirit, are an adulterer, right? And it says, and the seed of an unrighteous bed shall be rooted out, right? So the unrighteous are going to be plucked out. You know, like when you, I don't know if any of y'all have a garden. If you have a garden, you know, when you have weeds, you try to pull them out. That's how the wicked seed are going to get pulled out from the nation of Israel. And they have to, right? Because a lot of those tears makes a bad example for Israel, especially when you prideful, when you lazy, when you're a boaster, thinking you better than somebody. Like you could tell when somebody a boaster, let alone they don't want to take correction. A brother but that might falsely prophesy and tell you to go smoke weed or go lay with this brother's wife, or oh, hey, yo sister, go get you another husband, when a sister shouldn't be, when they come and serve the Lord, they shouldn't be hopping from rod to rod, right? It's many attributes of a wicked servant, or slothful, or a wicked seed, right? And Psalms 112 verse 2, it says, his seed shall be mighty upon the earth. The generation of the upright, which is the righteous, shall be blessed, right? And this is why they're increasing in the ministry. The righteous are going to do through the Spirit, Revelations 1 and 3. Blessed is he that readeth, blessed is he that heareth the prophecies and do them. If you're doing the work of the Lord, rehearsing the righteous act, working the faith of the Lord, right? You're pleasing the Lord, because without faith it's impossible to please him, right? And if you're hearing the prophecies of the judgment, like the wicked seed is going to get fire and brimstone, right? The other nations, they're going to get fire and brimstone, let alone the remnant of those nations are going to go into servitude, right? That's you hearing prophecies. The charagma, which is physical, this mark is going to be promoted all over the world, but then eventually it's going to be mandated, just like the vaccine, COVID, right? And then it said, blessed is he that readeth. So the real righteous men and women are reading book, chapter, verse. This is a fact. They'll read it. They're feeding their temple. They're feeding their mind, right? This verse that I'm going to read goes with the wisdom of Solomon 3:16, when I said adulterer and adulteress is a physical thing when a woman lays with another man when she has a husband, or when a man lays with another man's wife, right? But through the Spirit, being adulterer in the Spirit is when you're praising and worshiping another God. When you leave Yahweh Bashim Yahushai and you believe in something else, you are adulterer. So Wisdom of Solomon 14 verse 27, it says, for the worshiping of idols not to be named is the beginning and the cause and the end of all evil. So soon as the end of Esau's rulership, all idols, all beliefs are going to be destroyed out of every nation. It's going to be stripped out. And this is what we need. We need these certain nations to get back in their position, so that the earth can be at peace. So I'm gonna just bring out this precept. I believe Proverbs 29 and 2. Proverbs 29 and 2. It says, nations, countries, nations. We're not ruling right now. You know what I'm saying? Only like I just say out to some brothers and some sisters. Like right now, a lot of us, look, this is on, you can go look this up, The Guardian. This was Wednesday. USDA allowed lab-grown meat to be sold to U.S. consumers. Approval that for another day. Lord willing, this was edifying, you know, and there's more precepts as you can see on the screen. Right? Lord willing, until next time. Kwame Yasharella Shalom.